The power of radio is in your hands. You can play. You can pause.
Rewind.
You can download. It's Wikilonia Radio. Solely for your listening pleasure. You are listening to your number one online edutainment radio.
Hey guys, it's another Wednesday morning of Keeping Up with English with your girl Sewa on Wikilonia Radio, your number one online entertainment radio. You know what I'm saying? It's educative and yet entertaining. An online radio station with a difference. An online radio station where you get to enjoy real talk shows. Yeah, that's right. You get to enjoy real talk shows on Wikilonia Radio. How have you been? The week, hope it has been productive so far. Last week, I talked about idioms, some idiomatic expressions. I know you guys learned something and you're making wise use of it in your day-to-day activities. Don't forget to like and to also drop your comments on our post at Keeping Up with English on Facebook, because when you do so, you've got some amazing prizes to be won. Last week also, I promised to bring another interesting topic to your listening pleasure today. And you know when I promise, I make sure to fulfill it. That is exactly why I'm going to be teaching you guys spoken English in Nigeria, some issues. Spoken English in Nigeria, some issues. But before we set the ball rolling, let's go for a short commercial break.
You are listening to your number one online edutainment radio.
Diamond mobile app has been upgraded with awesome new features like Isusu, which helps you save with your friends in groups or save by yourself. It also includes a self-service feature where you can adjust your transfer limits, request debit cards, and many more. With over 2 million users on board, Diamond Mobile is really going beyond banking. Diamond, your bank.
Do you know that you can advertise your business and brand to thousands of listeners on Wikilonia Radio?
Oh yes, and at a very, very cheap and affordable rate. For as low as 1,000 naira, you can advertise with us.
Simply call us on 081 39 36 3906. On Wikilonia Radio, we give a new life to your business.
You are listening to your number one online edutainment radio.
You're still listening to Wikilonia Radio. The program is Keeping Up with English, and the topic remains spoken English in Nigeria, some issues. Now, we'll go a little bit down the memory lane because we need to know how English language was crafted into so many things in Nigeria. We know Nigeria to be one of the multilinguistic nations in the West Africa that gained her independence from Great Britain some 58 years ago. The inhabitants were known by their indigenous languages not until the colonization. Now, speaking of the indigenous languages in Nigeria, we have Hausa, we have Igbo, Yoruba, which are the major languages. Then we have Urhobo, Ibibio, Efik, and many others. That is a little history about Nigeria and how English became the official language. However, on today's program, I am more concerned with the pronunciation problem of Nigerian speakers of English language. And that is why I shall be identifying some words which most Nigerians find difficult to pronounce. I'll explain why the difficulty exists and finally give some remedial suggestions. Now let's go straight to the business. I've heard a lot of Nigerians say brochure. instead of brochure. The word brochure, which is spelled as BROCHURE, isn't brochure. Rather, it is pronounced as brochure. The CH in that word is sh sound. Sh as in ship. So the word isn't brochure. Rather, it is brochure. Another word is filth. 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 The TH, that is the last two alphabets, is th sound and not T. It is th. When pronouncing this word, you lift your tongue in a manner that it's gonna be touching your upper teeth. It is pronounced as filth and not filth. Filth and not filth. The third one is champagne. I know someone will say, what the heck? Did you just say champagne? Yes, please, I want some champagne. But seriously, that's how some pronounce the word. They don't know that some words are not pronounced as they're spelled. So how is CHAMPAGNE pronounced? It is pronounced as champagne. Champagne. Some people tend to articulate G in the word, but the G is silent. It is just like you pronouncing being in human being as in bing or binge. It is not possible, you can't say that. So back to champagne. The CH isn't pronounced like the CH in chalk, while the G is silent. So please, when you're in a gathering, don't say pass the champagne or pass the champagne. No, it is pass the champagne. I was talking with a friend a while ago about some words with B at the end. Words like comb, which is spelled as CONB, cram, which is spelled as CRUMB, dam, DUMB, nam, NUMB. It is actually common to hear people say comb, combing, combed, crumb, crumbs, dump. But these words aren't pronounced like this. The B at the end of each word is silent, so they are pronounced as comb, cram, dam, nam. Another interesting one is spelled as CRUEL. CRUEL. Most Nigerians sound out the E in the word to make something like cruel, whereas the word is pronounced as cruel. So next time you want to use this word, it is cruel and not cruel. My fellow Nigerians, it is short and not short. It is sing and not shing. It is rice and not lice. It is table and not table. I can use the whole day to give you a list of some words that we don't pronounce very well, but I also need to explain why the difficulty exists. Why the difficulty exists. The first one is mother tongue interference. Mother tongue interference. Sounds are generally problematic to some learners due to mother tongue interference. For those sounds that are absent in Nigerian languages, learners tend to substitute them with the nearest vowel and consonant sounds. Take for instance, some Nigerians pronounce the word zoom as soon. Instead of saying zoom, they will say soon. That is mother tongue interference. The second one is the orthography of English. The orthography of English. Many English words are not pronounced according to their spellings, and this has become a source of problem for learners. Sometimes when you see a word, you don't pronounce the word the way it is spelled. Take for instance, SUITE. SUITE is pronounced as sweet, sweet, but some pronounce this word as suit, whereas it is pronounced as sweet. Another reason why difficulty exists is the learner's attitude towards correct pronunciation. Some Nigerian learners or speakers of English, they are ashamed to practice correct pronunciation. Some tend to feel that their peers and other acquaintances will laugh at them when they adopt the habit of pronouncing words precisely as English people do. Now, I'm not saying you should try and speak like them. No, you don't have to force yourself to speak like them. But always try to pronounce the words correctly. Now, these are some factors that I'll say contribute to difficulties in pronouncing words correctly. Now, let's go to some remedial suggestions. Remedial suggestions now. Being a good role model or being good role models. We have a lot of educated Nigerian speakers such as English language teachers, mass communication professionals, learned theater arts practitioners, among others. They should be good models for others to emulate. They should strive to perfect their own mastery of English sounds and use correct pronunciation always. Now, how can they do this? They should be omnivorous readers of newspapers, novels, magazines, books. They should listen to news, current affairs programs on local and international radio stations. Frequent use of English. Teachers of English and other learned speakers in Nigeria should speak good English. You don't use your indigenous language to speak to, or rather to teach English. You don't use Igbo to teach English. You don't use Yoruba to teach English. Use of instructional materials in schools. The fundamentals of spoken English could be pre-recorded in radio cassettes, videotapes, film slides, and many others. You can just play this before students at their primary, post-primary, and tertiary levels of education across Nigeria as part of the learning process. And we will see that the level of spoken English will experience a leap. The last but not the least. There is a maxim that says, practice makes perfect. Practice makes perfect. Drawing on that maxim will suggest that pupils or students at all levels of education in Nigeria should be constantly drilled and grilled in spoken English exercises in the form of poems, songs, and tongue twisters. And that is how we've come to the end of today's show. I want to appreciate all my listeners. Thank you so much. I also want to use this opportunity to urge you to continue listening to Vikilonia Radio. You can download on Google Play Store, follow us on Instagram, on Twitter, and on Facebook at Vikilonia Radio. And also stand a chance of winning thousands of recharge cards. Don't say I didn't tell you. Next week, Wednesday, is another day for an interesting topic. You want to know what it is? Then join me same day, same time, same radio station. I remain your host, Sewa. Do enjoy the rest of your day and continue speaking good and correct English. Bye.